All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in again. Today we're here with Jordi Gili. We know him because he's a professor at our university at Geneva Business School. He is an expert in CRM and we'll try to get deeper information about the customer relationship management in general, but not only this, he's also a former entrepreneur and author. And welcome. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Jordis. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start a little bit about your history. Tell us just a little bit, where are you from, where were you born, and like your way of growing up.
Okay, so born in Barcelona, born and raised in Barcelona.
Okay.
Been here all my life. But then I studied telecommunications engineering, so I'm an engineer myself. I originally was very interested in understanding the technology of sound. I'm a rock fan, big rock fan. And I love the sound of the guitars, of distortion guitars. And that's kind of weird, but that's how I was interested in the technology of the sound, how you can record and then reproduce sound. That was a kind of a mystery to me. And that's how I got into telecommunications engineer. And to understand how analog and digital worked. So 5 years into that, I got my degree and I went for an MBA at ESADE, and that was a big eye-opener for me in terms of how a company works and socially responsible and how the whole world in business works, right? And so I spent my early years in professional in telecommunications. I worked for IBM and then Orange now, former Orange subsidiary, and a company called Colt, City of London Telecom, always based in Barcelona though. And then NTNT, the Japanese, the Nippon Telecom, also taking care of the customers in the Catalonia and Barcelona area. That was nice. I learned about customer service, customer management in that phase. Then I was offered a consultancy job in New York, and I stayed there a couple of years. 2 years in New York. It was one of the most amazing experiences in my life. Working on Wall Street, waking up and living in Times Square, crazy times. You know, they say that play hard, work hard, play hard, and that was amazing. You know, waking up every day and going down to Wall Street.
Sounds very exciting.
Goldman and Bloomberg and all those companies, right? So it was amazing times. And then we decided to come back to Spain to open the subsidiary of that company in Spain. So
how old were you back then, and when you went?
It was 2006. So I was 32, I guess. Right? And that's interesting. I came back just when a whole subprime thing happened, and I remember being out there, and one of our clients, I think it was Lehman, and they announced they were not able to pay back some of their funds, and that was kind of weird. Nobody heard of that before, and that started for me. That started it all. And 2 months later, I was back in Barcelona to open the Southern Europe practice of that corporation. It's called Resources Global Professionals, and interesting times. And then I found myself that I was working from home. A kid, my wife went back to Barcelona with me as well, and but I was not an employee. I was a freelancer. And at that time, I realized that, hey, I'm out of a company, so I'm working for a company, but not an employee, but I still have a responsibility. But that opened a new area for me, like, oh, I can do things on my own, on the side, like I'm a freelancer, right? And I decided to explore ideas, so I created my own company on the side. And then at one point I said to my company, well, goodbye. I can do things on my own. That's how I created my company called Execus. That was in 2010, and
still existing company.
Yes, we're doing very well. We a little bit on that. We started 2010. 2013, we got the first LinkedIn sales solutions approved training partner certification
Okay.
in the world.
Wow.
And since then, we are one of the 3 only companies worldwide that we are training other companies and consulting on the products of LinkedIn sales solutions. So that company started in 2010, and today we're 1.3 million in revenues, and in Switzerland, Italy, and Spain. And right now we are on Mama Crowd. So if you go to Mama Crowd, it's a crowdfunding web page, and we're right now. So if you go to mamacrowd.com, you can see and invest in the company.
Okay, guys,
right?
so check it out.
Yeah, check it out. So that's good. That's good. And with this, we want to become. We already are, but we want to maintain and strengthen our position as leaders in social selling in Europe.
Okay.
The company of preference in transforming the sales approach of business to business, and be the partner of reference for large organizations to transform the digital, the sales organization with digital and social. And so that's where we are today. So on top of that, I'm happy to be a professor here at GBS, at Geneva Business School, and I also help at other business schools in Barcelona and internationally. And I'm a speaker at many events. Whatever they invite me, I like to go. I like to travel.
Yeah.
So I spread the whole thing. So yeah, a little bit of me. That's about it.
All right. Interesting. So your bachelor degree, you also did it in Barcelona. So you stayed in Barcelona for the first 25 years of your life,
That
or a
is
little more.
correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. I find Barcelona is. Yesterday I was reading that it's a top 10 best places to work in the world.
For
Forbes
Yeah.
in Barcelona, one of the top 10 cities to work for.
for as an employee?
No. Balanced. Best 10 places to work.
Work-life balance.
So it has many different things like work-life balance, quality of life in Barcelona, the weather.
Yeah.
But
Nowadays,
yeah,
today.
that's 3 days. But in general, and how expats value the cities. And so I agree with obviously the weather. I agree with the multicultural environment, the safety.
Yeah.
Safety in the streets, and many things, culture obviously. But one of the worst grades they got Barcelona in terms of opportunities for work. So that's not, honestly, I have to say that I think that Barcelona is not a tier 1 city. I think that it's tier 2 at most.
Why do you believe is that?
Tier 1 cities would be like the London, the New York, maybe other.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, you said you were in New York, went to work, and you decided to come back. So you obviously have like the big comparison between the New York crazy world and back to Barcelona.
Yes. So it depends. For me, it was right to be there 2 years, and I learned a lot. I was exposed to how high demanding environment. The pressure, but the opportunities in New York, you have opportunities everywhere, all the time, always looking for the next big thing, and it is there. The opportunities are there. It just are for you to grab them. And if you are legally able to work there, then there are no limits in terms of opportunities. So I'm very excited to be there. I experienced that. Now, when it came to with my wife now, having a kid and family and all that stuff, we decided to come back to Europe. And I found that most Europeans like to come back to Europe for that. And that was our choice. And hoping that we would have the right work opportunities or job opportunities in Barcelona. And again, it's challenging. It's challenging. So because it's not a tier 1. If you look at financial services, there are just 2 big banks in the area, and those are the 2 ones that you can find. And so there are not many director roles in those organizations. Insurance, maybe the same. Healthcare industry, it's one of the few that really has opportunities, and maybe a few others. But that's why I'm saying I think that Barcelona is a tier 2 opportunity. opportunity, you know.
So you said you
Exactly.
came 2006. You came to New York.
I was in New York 2006, 2008.
So you were there when the financial crisis
Yes,
kicked in.
exactly. You know, that story was a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But no,
Please share.
No, I was at the height. I was at the really high when no one believed that fund was not paying out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember crazy parties. I remember, I can tell you 1,000 stories. Not at the what's the name of the movie? The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
I've not experienced that, but I've seen crazy things happening there.
Yeah, maybe share with us the most exciting experience or that
most exciting,
really
almost
stick to
frightening,
you.
maybe. So just 2 months in the position, 2 months in my role So I'm starting a customer service director, and whatever it is, and so it's common to go down to the bar. Downstairs in the building, to go down and just open the tap, right? So, who's gonna put the credit card? Like, I'll do it. So I put the credit card. 2 hours later, I come out with $2,500 on my credit card. Like, it was crazy. Everyone was like, another one. I was scared to death. You know, at 10 p.m., I called my boss at that time. It's like, I'm so ashamed. I'm so sorry you're gonna kick me out. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I put my corporate credit card that is $2,500. And she calmly says, like, was there any client in that party? Like, yeah, I could name 1 or 2 clients. Like, then you're fine. You're fine. So it was not internal. It was customer entertainment.
Yeah.
And then you're fine. So I was like, what? No, 100% fine. No worries. Just name the 2 people that were there, and that's it.
Wow.
That was the worst moment. Yeah. But in terms of intensity, I was walking the halls in Goldman Sachs, and walking the halls of Bloomberg, the power, the energy, the opportunities just kept coming along. We were providing financial services and technology services to those organizations. And people would like go, yeah, can you do this? Like, yeah, okay. I have 3 people tomorrow for this project. Yeah, let's do that. And it was booming. It was crazy times. And but then, bing, the alarm bell about all that subprime thing, and suddenly it wasn't crumbling down. Have you seen? There are many movies on this, and I'm very interested in what happened in that space. So maybe I went back to Europe and to open the practice, and it went well as well. So I had a good experience, right? But maybe I'm a corporate. I consider myself a corporate professional, but I found myself like with opportunities to some entrepreneurship. I didn't consider myself an entrepreneur, but I just found myself like when I come back to Europe. So I'm not an employee. They asked me to be like a freelancer relationship with my company, but still have the responsibilities and all that stuff. It was just a matter of the situation. There was no corporate entity in Spain. They wanted me to be in Spain. I wanted to be in Spain, but the only way is to make this work is so I could invoice my company. Right? So suddenly I find myself like being able to invoice not only my company but other companies and many companies, and that gave me ideas on how to do things. And when you start,
it keeps going.
It keeps going.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that I would need like more than one life.
Yeah.
Things that I want to do. Yeah, many things you have to say no, and
I think that comes with time. Yeah.
I'm supposed it happens to you as well. Right?
But yeah, it's exciting. It's amazing to have these opportunities, I guess. Especially here in Barcelona, where we said that it's quite difficult to get jobs. If you have a lot of opportunity, I think you're quite blessed that you are in this position.
But remember, maybe this was like 6 years ago when I started, or 10 years ago when I started my thing. I think that maybe now depending on what type of jobs or roles that you're looking for, there are plenty of opportunities. There's a scarce of resources when it comes to technology, mostly. Hundreds of corporate innovation centers and technology centers are being built in Barcelona. You can have, I don't want to give names, but you can have the bigger
brands,
global brands having their development centers or technology centers or other hubs in the area, right? And I think that's smart on their end because, again, Barcelona attracts people from all over.
Yeah,
over
it's super
Europe,
international.
right?
Yeah.
Super international, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially in the younger age, maybe
Yeah.
like yourself, so you're willing to work and put in the hours and try new things and different things. But I think that maybe beyond that, maybe at management levels, I don't see there many opportunities.
Okay.
Management and director level, right?
That's actually interesting that you say that because I personally, when I'm here in Barcelona looking for opportunities, I often stop exactly at the issue that it's supposed to be international, but it's actually not. I mean, I thought that I can work in Barcelona, which is super like open world,
Yep.
and I thought I can work here in English, but actually most of the time no. Like once they hear that you don't speak professional, like high level Spanish, it's 90% that they will not take you.
Really? Well, again, I think that technology has it all in terms of if you're in technology, you will find the opportunities everywhere. But other than that, I don't think that there are many opportunities, relevant opportunities.
For startups, I think it's
And-
probably easier, but no worry. Yeah, I think for startups it might be easier because it's people like us, young entrepreneurs, that want to be built, especially in the day we're living today, international brands, companies, startups. So they're more open to have international people.
So
that
you're
speak
saying
English.
that they are or they're not?
Yeah, there are, but in the big corporations or car industries or whatever, it's super difficult if you're not
I
native.
agree, I agree, because those positions are occupied by local people. Right? And
Yeah, I get it.
and then there are not many opportunities. And I have my cousin studied also, was in Boston many years, was at a private investment firm, and then high level job and director of investment, and married another Spanish lady. So they had many difficulties for him to find a role in investment in the financial sector in Barcelona. They wanted. So they spent 3 years until he was able to find a position and within one of those two gaps that I'm saying, right? So it's very difficult to find those roles. Now, in terms of a startup, I see a boom. I'm also a member of the board at a CETECNO, that's the Circle of Technology for Catalonia.
Okay.
So we offer opportunities in technology to bring together professionals, companies, public administration, and all the create a community and a place to meet, right? So I see the world of technology from the large organizations and also startup world, right? And I see again lack of talent. There's a lot of need for talent in that space, and also the opportunities in the startup. So going back to your point of startup,
Yeah.
right? That I think it's an industry that it's booming. In the past 3, 4, 5 years, that has changed a lot because maybe there were as many as entrepreneurs, but there was not a financing structure for the venture capitalists. The other half of the equation, right? Right now, I think that is being structured, and there are opportunities, and there's money to invest, and I think that is starting to work.
So,
Right? So there are opportunities in that space.
So also for people that want to come to Barcelona, you think it's a good solution for them if they think about working international and I don't know, maybe start working in a startup that might grow and they expand, and maybe in the future they could work in their native language going back to their country. So you think it's a good jump off the city, or
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I think that you said it right. I think it's a place to start your career. You can have opportunities to start your career, maybe a startup or on those technology specifically fields, and then. But I'm not sure you would find the middle management or the senior management positions. Maybe that would be going back to your own.
Yeah, I mean,
countries. But
you just said basically Barcelona is really good for technology. startups.
Yeah.
And one of my main questions is, what do you think about the fact, at least of my knowledge right now, that Barcelona is going to be one of the first 5G cities in Europe?
I'm well aware of that initiative.
And, or I don't know, one of the first or even the first, I'm not sure. What do you think will change through 5G? And especially, what will be the kind of startup change? What do you see? I mean, obviously, when something like this comes, which is new to the market, huge opportunities open up.
Yes.
And what do you see in the future for 5G startups?
Oh man, 5G. I have a strong opinion on 5G, and unfortunately, it's not very popular. Right.
Okay.
Right. What do I mean with that?
Okay.
I believe, as an engineer, that nobody knows still what 5G is going to be for.
Yeah.
We don't need 5G right now. That's reality. We don't need 5G. We don't need 5G. I think that's a strong statement. Right. Okay, so I know the whole technology community is going to go against it, but so who's pushing 5G? It's the ones that sell the phones, the ones in the technology. They want you to use 5G, but there are no realistic scenarios where you need 5G.
Okay.
So
Yet.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I could agree on two.
Not even for autonomous driving, or I mean IoT for home use. I agree that we probably don't need it yet, but for autonomous driving,
Okay. We could discuss. I don't think so.
Also not.
I don't think so. With
Okay.
4G, we're well served. With 4G, we can do a lot. What's the difference between 125 milliseconds and 3 milliseconds?
In autonomous driving, maybe a life. If the car has to decide in that millisecond.
Probably we are slower as individuals to and what. And honestly, I'm very controversial on this. I don't think we need 5G.
Okay.
Maybe gaming, maybe the only one. Gaming, it does make a difference. The ping, the latency, that makes a difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you put me in the, obviously I would prefer to have 5G for autonomous cars, maybe for distance doctor operations.
Yeah.
Maybe, not sure it would make a difference, honestly, again, but there might be some cases, right, where there might be. So maybe call me
Old school.
Old school, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's more of a hype than reality.
All right.
Interesting.
So going back to your point, are there opportunities for startup on 5G? I don't think so.
You don't think so? That's super interesting. I mean, I was in China the last holidays, and what I noticed, which was for me like I don't know, a little bit weird coming from Europe, and I never before were in these Asian countries. The only country I was in was Korea, but at that time it wasn't so developed as China is now.
Yeah.
And I came there, and I was so surprised how many things work through face recognition.
Okay.
And they control, I mean, it's obviously the regime of China. They control so much just through cameras. And when I think about 5G, I think mainly about cameras.
Okay.
Because, I mean, this small data, I don't know, sending a file is nothing, right? But when you have a camera which records in relatively high quality, let's say, that's a lot more latency that it takes.
Again, that's intensive use, but there's nothing that could be done today with 4G. It's nothing. All that we're saying here,
I agree.
It could be done with 4G.
Yes.
So that's my whole point. So if you want to create a startup with 5G, I would say you're gonna have a hard time finding investors and finding clients for your 5G thing. But again, maybe I'm not popular in this.
I don't know. Like, I'm not an engineer. Obviously, you talk from a lot more technical knowledge, but like I listen to a lot of things talking about 5G.
I should be saying yes, go for 5G.
No, that's not at all.
No, we want the honest opinion.
No, I don't want to hear what I want to hear, right? I love to be proven wrong, but what I don't understand is the difference between in the speed, right? You said it's absolutely minimal.
No. Well, there's a jump in speed, that's for sure. There's a jump in bandwidth, jump in speed, okay? But what is the difference of... We're currently able to send video through this, right? Already, and face-to-face, right? Maybe 4K, okay. You need video 4K. Yes, we need video 4K. I'm not sure, right? Maybe for some applications again, but 4K,
So to sum all this up, we can say that you think this is a human-made thing for some people to make a lot of money out of it.
My honest opinion is that 5G is hype created by industry manufacturers that want to push. And for instance, equipment manufacturers, network equipment manufacturers for sure, but then telecommunications company and mobile, because why? Why? Because they want you to buy your next phone. We're having a downfall in terms of renovation of your cell phone, right? They need a new hype for you to buy a new phone.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, you're going to do the same thing. And you compare one phone with the other, and your experience is the same.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah, I just had the experience because for example, I'm wearing the first Apple Watch, and a friend of mine has the latest Apple Watch. You put them next to each other, and there's no difference. His battery holds 2 days. Mine, I have to charge it every day, but it's 6-7 years in between. So yeah, it's kind of a joke.
But that is what I think on that topic. Right?
It's fun because I always think of like advancement in technology as a natural thing, right? Like when you see in the past years, it's always going forward. And obviously, I think it's absolutely right that it's a trend, right? Like anything that is created in these spaces is through the media is sold to the people, right?
Absolutely.
And but I don't know. I think it's not a bad thing at all.
It's not a bad thing, obviously. More, better bandwidth, better latency, better speed. Yeah, all that contributes, right? All that brings you new opportunities to do something better and improve, right? But today I'm not seeing it. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I've been to the Mobile World Congress all the time since the first edition, like 50 years ago. I don't know, many. And this year's top announcement were the folding Samsung, right? The folding that's just gone like this. The minute it came, it's gone. So what the things and 5G, right? And 5G, and again, so the industry needs something to push.
Yes,
of course,
and to create.
Yeah, makes sense.
Understand.
Okay, I think we dipped pretty deep in this topic.
Yeah.
So,
want to change?
Maybe we can go on about the book that you wrote.
Okay.
It's called Sell. Maybe you
Sell with LinkedIn, right?
Sell with LinkedIn. Sell on LinkedIn or sell with LinkedIn? Sell. Okay. It's where can you buy it? Is it only in Spanish or written in English? All right. Yeah, maybe you can give a brief explanation about what the people that read the book learn out of it. What's the benefit of reading the book?
Thank you. That book is a response to a wow moment I had like 9 years ago. So many social networks out there, right? And every social network is good at doing some stuff, right? On LinkedIn, I was, as anyone else, maybe looking for another opportunity, just looking good on social, looking professional, maybe being offered my next job. But I was happy with my job. I was looking for talent at that point because when I was working for RGP, we were looking for senior talent to deploy to our customers, global customers. And so I need to find talent, right? On one end, I need to find talent to talk to them and say, hey, I'm interested in this project at this company, right? Senior talent, right? For project, individual project professionals, right? Project professionals, right? On the other end, I was looking for clients, right? To sell those people for those projects. Like, okay, we have people that we can offer you on a temporary basis, right? On the other end, hey, we have projects and you can be assigned on a temporary basis and doing the match. Great business, I have to say. The best business ever. Great margin, love it, love it, love it. But the LinkedIn bug bite me, right? And I'm stuck there. And I saw the opportunity of finding clients, right? And how there was a great way I imagined to work the methodology to find clients, and I had the need to explain how to sell over LinkedIn, right? And that's I remember one summer with my kids. They were, on the beach. I was typing the whole morning, and then when they went to bed, again until 2 in the morning, typing the book all the summer, and I finished it. And yeah, that's how I launched it. I called it Sell with LinkedIn. I sent it over to LinkedIn and say, hey guys, is it okay if I use LinkedIn as the title of the book? Which, I was not sure I could.
Yeah, you never know.
And they said, no, we're fine. Yeah, go. And actually, we're going deep into this stuff. We're creating a new business line with a new product. And do you want to be part of it? Do you want to be partner and talk about this and promote this? And I said, well, definitely, I'm interested. And that's how our relationship with LinkedIn started. It was very nice until today.
So it's more for B2B than for B2C? Or is it only B2B?
No, I mean, that's a good point. What do you think? LinkedIn is more B2B or B2C, right?
I think it's B2B only.
Yeah, some people
I think it's
may think it's B2B only, but I would say if the price is high or your ticket is high, you could sell it over LinkedIn. It's a more expensive channel because it's more targeted, right? But I'm starting to see more and more high-end cars promoted on LinkedIn, right? Which is a change. But then you think like, if your ticket is $10,000 or above, it makes sense to pay like $300 for a good lead. It does, right? It makes sense. Maybe you can, maybe those car companies, they can budget the cost of a lead of 1,000 maybe per sale. Right? The margin allows that, and if that's the equation, then it makes sense to go on LinkedIn, right? Yeah. So that's a good idea. And for business to business, definitely.
Yes. I mean, that's what you basically explained in the first part of summarizing the book.
Today we are at the edge of developing some new technology. We're developing a software as a service platform to enable salespeople, B2B salespeople, to have a process and to guide them along the social selling process, right? And that's what we are. One of the things that we're doing also. I'm an entrepreneur in SaaS as well.
Yeah. So it's the topics of the book are still relevant.
The topics are 100% relevant. Now the technology has changed. So when I wrote this book, there was not even the premium product right now for LinkedIn, which is called LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right?
Okay.
And there was not even the product there, right?
What do you think about the premium of LinkedIn?
The premium?
Yeah,
that's a good point. I think that LinkedIn Premium offers you more productivity, right? So if you're a professional in sales, you need productivity tools. We have estimated that sales professionals are 3 times more productive with this product, meaning 3 times more conversations with clients, 3 times more meetings or opportunities, right? And does that make sense if you compare it to 60, 90 euros per month, right? does.
You want
It does. So if you're able to be 3 times as more productive, 60, 90 euros doesn't make a difference. And that's why, if you're not a professional, you can do many, many, many things, right? Without the premium. That would be my answer.
Okay.
Right?
So maybe for our entrepreneurial-minded listeners, would be maybe interesting to know how were the numbers of the book, how well did you sold it, and
Okay.
yeah, how it go, the experience of being an author.
Okay, good.
Because I think it was the first time for you,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so being an author in business is not a business.
Mhm.
You don't make money out of a book. Never. You don't make money. But what it gives you is exposure, visibility, and then you have as an entrepreneur or as a business person to have visibility in the market is a way to attract opportunities, right? And that is what the book really brings.
Uh-huh.
So sort of notoriety, right? So people think of you as an expert, and they bring you to events, they take you to places, to their companies. You have the trust, the respect, because I mean, if you created a book, it may mean that you know something about it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
course.
let's bring that guy, and maybe he'll know something and help us with our thing. It gives you that trust kind of thing. You build trust immediately with the book, right? And that helps in the development of a sales process. It gives you trust, right?
Yeah, that's good to know. And you said you only wrote one summer for it, so
Yes, one summer.
3 months.
No,
or-
because I already had most of the things
Mhm.
already produced along the years. If you put together all your practice of the years and the small courses here, the small talks here, your thoughts that you put and bring everything together, you have content for
Yeah.
the book, definitely.
How long is the book?
It's about, I don't know, 300 pages. not a
300
lot.
pages, okay.
And all graphics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm not sure I would buy it if I were you, because I talk a lot about technology again, and technology it's the whole, it's different right now. It has nothing to do today, right?
Yeah. 2 years later, you also participated, or at least I'm not sure, in an ebook, which is 33 social selling tips.
Yeah, but that ebook and many other ebooks that are produced by LinkedIn, I think that they're referring to that one.
So this is a LinkedIn project.
Yeah. So being part of the LinkedIn ecosystem, right,
Yeah.
gives you opportunities to participate in surveys, in articles, and actually I blog for the LinkedIn Sales Solutions blog, right?
Okay.
Excuse me. And that's all about spreading the word of the product and visibility and all that stuff. So yeah, that's one of the books. There are many people in the world that talk about this, but I like to consider myself one of the person that at least has studied a lot and has something to say on this topic, right?
Okay. Social selling obviously is a different thing than what you were talking about in the book, at least from my understanding. Sell, I understood that it's quite B2B focused. Social selling is probably more about business to consumer. Where exactly is the difference, and why is it so effective, the social selling?
Well, social selling, I think it's more about business to business, honestly.
Ah, really?
Yeah. I'm a business to business person.
Okay.
I'm not a business to consumer person.
Okay.
You know why? One of my first jobs out of school, it was at Orange. Today it was called Television in those early days, local telecommunications company. So I started as staff in customer service. Since I was telecommunications engineer, my role was to actually very specific thing. You know the call center, the contact center, received like 1,000 calls at the same time. So I was in charge of assigning what group of agents that call was routed to. It was and programming I was not the programming, but I was helping decide this.
So back then there were no automatic call replies.
Well, yes, but at least you had to design the process of a call, like It all goes into the call center. If it's the 9 to 10 to this group, if it selects Spanish or English to this other group that has the right skills and whatever. If it's a complaint to that group, and design the whole process thing. I was in technology. I remember when we were having ads on TV, and at that time there was no YouTube, so all the people watched was TV, right? So when you put an ad, suddenly you had an avalanche of 10,000 calls at the same time. At the same time, you need to manage thousands of calls, and that was impossible. That was the numbers were staggering. I was like, I couldn't cope with all those numbers, so we left phone calls unanswered in the queue for 25 minutes. It was not possible. So that's why I say, well, this is crazy. I'm not a person for business to consumer world. I am not. I cannot bear the feeling of not able to solve a situation, right? It's so impossible to deal with. So I felt wrong, and I said, hey, I'm in B2B, and the one-to-one conversation, like let's make a deal, right?
Yeah,
Now,
that's interesting.
Lose thousands of calls, and so not B2C for me.
So what was exactly then the difference between social selling? Because I didn't really understand it. Social selling I usually refer to as a process that goes on in like social groups, right?
Yes.
And I thought it's a process that one guy sells through his social circle, or a process that goes on within social circles.
Yes. I like that definition. Okay. A person that sells within the circle, right? Yes. But since you said a person.
Yeah, I mean...
A person, right?
Yes, a person.
And a person, what does the person sell? So this could work for professionals, individual professionals, that need to sell their own product, right? Or it requires a one-to-one effort, right? It makes sense?
Yes.
Because you have to manage your networks.
Yes.
I think that the key difference here is that we as individuals can manage our networks, brands manage followers, and they cannot devote the attention that each person demands.
Okay.
Right? Maybe this is changing because of intensive use of technology. Technology today enables, and we see that in the CRM course, that technology enables today that companies can have one-to-one conversations with individuals, because the cost of technology has dropped down so much that we can have a good view and automate with artificial intelligence, with big data. We can know the customer and have one-to-one personalized things. Because in the world where, as customers, we treat it like fish or cows, just numbers out there, and we just send an email without my name or with my real interest at heart, right? Just general emails, spamming, and all that stuff. That is more like a B2C world, and I'm not used to that, right? And social selling is more one-to-one conversations, right? But at scale.
Okay.
I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, especially when you take the social circle aspect. It makes sense. Yeah, but for me, I a lot of times hear success stories about people, especially that went from one thing and they decided, okay, I will go now to CRM, right? Similar to you, you came from telecommunications. And all of a sudden realized, okay, well, actually, I'm not going to be an engineer. I'm going to work in the
with people, right?
Exactly, with people. Was there in the period of your career, did you meet a person, an inspiring individual that changed the way you think, your path that you're going, or would you say that you found your way yourself?
Never thought about that. I think that I found my own way. I don't have a reference in that space. Maybe now in the later years, I like a couple of guys that that I respect professionally because they have achieved whatever I'm also looking for. Maybe find your own, path, your own way, and they're being successful at that. I like this guy called Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah,
You know him?
of course, yes.
Yes. He had a strong will, and he's built his career, right? And just doing his own thing.
Yeah, very passionate individual. He is.
Yes, I understand. I admire that. I admire the work as well, and I think that you have to have a little bit of luck, but you have to put in the hours. For instance, do you know this singer Rosalia? You know her? You know her? Rosalia, Spanish singer, won MTV Awards and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Probably I know her.
Okay, maybe the audience will
Yeah.
know her, right? So she's been tremendously successful with one album, right? But I'm surprised to see that she's putting out content. She's putting out new songs like every week or every month. So she's in there. Not only have to have a little bit of success or whatever success you can have, maybe one strike of luck, maybe, but you have to be consistent and pushing and working hard, right? That makes a difference, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be luck to have a good opportunity. You may be in the right place or with the right attitude or listening or connecting the dots.
Mm-hmm.
You might be lucky in that space or intelligent but if you don't keep working hard to maintain and sustain that, maybe it's not going to happen again. So I'm impressed with individuals that maybe they made it somehow. Maybe they had luck, whatever again, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But then they're relentless.
They have to keep going.
You have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot expect. So let's put it another way. I'm not surprised, or I'm not. I don't respect that much people that have had luck once,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's it.
And they sit on it.
I'm deeply touched by individuals that have had luck, maybe, or hard work. They made it once, but then they make it again.
But I think this is somehow also the human psychology think that we always want to have more. So I think if you taste it once, this luck or this kind of success, it's hard to say, okay, I'm stopping at this point.
But maybe then maybe you will not have that much of my respect if it was just luck, right?
Yeah, of course. Mm.
Maybe if you, I like to think that people that have small successes or big successes as people that are intelligent, they find an opportunity, they were strong enough to go after that opportunity and they were willing to put a lot of work there, but they were lucky a little bit, somehow they made it, right?
Yeah, and they keep on building.
But then they didn't stop there because it was not only luck. They were working hard, they were putting the hours, they had a vision, they went for it, right? And if they make it again or they continue making it, I mean, that's not luck, that's not chance. I mean, you have the ingredients to be successful, right?
And the key is work, right? I've never met someone that is successful that didn't put in the hours. One thing I want to talk about is obviously you mentioned Gary, right?
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk. One of his main things that he praises all the time is the content, right? To produce content non-stop. Now you're a LinkedIn person. How much do you think LinkedIn as a platform is centered around content, or is it a lot more about networking and engaging to your community?
Okay. I would say everything depends on your objectives on LinkedIn, right? The majority of people would just be happy if they are offered an opportunity, and that maybe it's their objective on LinkedIn, right? To have a good profile, share something every now and then, grow the network with friends and maybe some contacts, grow but without a specific purpose, right? Just be there and do something, right? And so for 99% of the people, that would just work to be there and be offered an opportunity. Now, if you have other objectives, like not making a living, but doing business, right? And so being successful at selling things, at growing your business. If you want something else out of this, then you have to do something different. Okay. And that's where content plays a role, but not only content, about growing your network as well. And then not only waiting that your content is going to be seen, because Gary put in the hours, grew a base of followers, and for every video now that he puts out, 2 million people watch it, right? So he gets business just by posting content. That's why he's advising people to post content, right? And maybe it's his true and honest advice to put content so you will attract opportunities, right? But to do that, you first need to grow your network and put in the hours, and also have a clear objective. Mm-hmm. Grow your network strategically. Yeah. Towards what you're looking for. What is your objective? You have a startup and you're looking for investors. Do you have a startup? You're looking for your CTO. You have a business. You're looking for partners, for clients. Then you have to strategize what you need. Content is one side, but the other one, I call this the inbound part. The outbound part, you need to identify your target, partner, client, customer, provider, employee, mm-hmm. whatever you're looking for, and go after that. I call that outbound process. And you have to insist also on that and grow as crazy. Just one comment, for instance, on Mama Crowd, right? We are looking for 300,000 euros at this point today. So mm-hmm. if you have 300,000 euros and you want to invest, you're welcome, right? Just go to Mama Crowd. But we're just not hoping that people will have that. So we've created a team of people that the whole purpose of this, their objective is to find 300,000 euros in 2 months. And to do that, I'm sure that you will not do that only by posting content. Mm-hmm. You have to have a more aggressive strategy, right? So for 2 months, we've created a team of people that are going to be touching private investors, individual people with money mm-hmm. That are going to invest. So it's both ends, right? Depending on your objective.
For what do you need the investment of 300,000? It's obviously for the company of yours that you created, but you said you're doing well. What is the
but in this
factor?
world, you can be the best, but if you're not the fastest, maybe you will lose the race. Mm-hmm. We need the money to fuel our growth. We're currently in 3 countries, but we need to be in 7 countries in 1 year. And I don't have the resources, right, to do that. So we need money to find the right people and grow from Italy, Switzerland, Spain into the UK, France, Germany, the Netherlands, mm-hmm. and the Nordics, and then the Balkans, and the bigger we are able to establish a brand and be the first to have a Europe-wide organization, mm-hmm. the more attractive we will be for clients that will respect us and say, hey, you're the leaders in Europe, right? Great. And also for maybe other investors to fuel the next growth, right? So it's not only about being profitable, but very fast as well.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, that's interesting.
Because there are always 1 or 2 competitors in the market.
And competition is good.
Competition is good because it helps. Honestly, I remember my MBA, my professor of strategy said, the competition is good. And I said, no. Now, I want to kill my competitors, right? But today I think that, yes, I still want to kill my competitors, but they help grow the market. And when you're in a market that really is growing, there's a piece of pie for everyone. And the bigger the pie gets, the bigger your piece of pie is going to be. Yeah. Right? So honestly, they are helping us grow the market. So that's good.
What is your main advice to grow your network? because you said networking is a very important thing. I totally agree on that. But you're a LinkedIn individual, so you work a lot with LinkedIn. But what I see, I think only connecting with people on LinkedIn is not enough. So you have to get out. You have to meet people face to face. How do you think is the best way of networking today? Going to conferences, for example, or what is your main advice for people that want to grow their professional network?
I think LinkedIn is the best way to be and start, definitely. But I often say online for breadth and offline for depth.
Okay, yeah, that's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, so what you can see and the amount of visibility and opportunities that you can attract online is huge, huge, and all sorts of networking platforms. For me, it's LinkedIn because I'm a business person. If you want to sell your products to business to consumer, your shoes, whatever you have to be on Insta, on Facebook, right?
Yes,
Right.
of course.
But when you have that contact, the sooner you take this offline and you get a meeting, that's when trust happens and then when business happens, right?
Okay, then I have one other question. I kind of know the answer, but I want to have it in like more specific numbers. CRM, like how much do you value of the parts of having a company? You have departments, marketing, you have human resources, your team, the idea of the business, all those parts that have to have a balance in business to become a successful business. How much do you value the customer relationships and customer service, and how much would you invest percentage-wise for
percentage-wise?
Or yeah, so how do you value it compared to the others?
I would say depend on the type of business that you are willing to build, right? I've seen cases where companies just care to grow. That's it. All the resources are spent on, and I can say many large companies that when the pie is growing,
The people put their money in marketing.
it's because it kind of makes sense in business wise, but not on the customer service side. So if you have $1 to spend, if the pie is growing, businesses often make the decision to put that money into marketing, not the customer service, right? Why? Because they say it brings more money to acquire a new customer than to retain an old customer, right? Because with the same dollars, you can have 3 paying clients instead of looking at one problem of one customer. They say goodbye, you can leave. That's reality when things are growing fast. Most software as a service, they're growing fast, right? Now, when the pie is not growing anymore, companies realize that they need the clients to be loyal, right? And that's when we see money flowing to the customer service, right? And that's when companies realize that it's better long-time value and all that stuff, right? So I don't have in terms of percentage-wise, depends on your business.
But so this is for big corporations, but like for a young startup,
get a client, man, get a client. And spend your dollars in marketing.
Okay.
Today.
So yeah, for a young startup, you recommend to put your money in marketing. I kind of agree. But for example, you know Zappos? Yes. I heard that they're basically a customer service company, and their main objective is to gain and retain their customers happy, and that's why Zappos became Zappos. And I think this is super interesting and amazing story because it was the shoe retail company online.
Yeah.
And that's how I, and also from own personal experience, I saw the importance of customer service.
Definitely. I'm just saying that in my experience, when you talk to investors and
They
you put in the plan that your strategy is to grow with great customer service, they look at you like, what do you say? It's easier in a growing pie, in a growing market, to sell to 3 instead of 1, right? What are you doing wasting the time with 1, right? But then at some point they realize that this equation is not working anymore. And then maybe too late, they realize that they should invest in having a great experience. Companies sometimes realize this too late. That's why you need customers first, because otherwise you don't have a product, you don't have anything no clients to look after, right?
Yeah.
They don't care, right?
Of course.
So first grow to sustain a business.
So the challenge is to see that point.
Yes,
where,
I would say that's the challenge, to understand when is the right time.
of course, also depends.
That it makes sense.
Yeah. Of course, depends also on the business. For example, Zappos, people buy maybe twice a month, even they buy new shoes. But for example, for phone companies where they only sell one phone a year or every 2 years, it makes more sense to go on marketing.
And maybe what's changed in the past years is that it's not enough to sell a product. So maybe when you design the product, we are more conscious now that the product is not just a sale. The product is the whole experience until maybe you receive your shoe. So we are better at designing the whole experience. And if that is part of the MPP, the minimum viable product, then you're good. I would say you're good. So I don't know.
Okay. I think we covered every point that we wrote down so far. Thank you so much for coming and joining our podcast.
Wow,
and
it was great having the opportunity to share with you some ideas.
Super interesting. Yeah,
it was great.
Thank you.
For inviting me.
Guys, go to Mama Crowd, invest.
We will call you to invest.
Yeah. We will receive some cold calls in the close future.
Yes, not cold calls. We have a methodology in place.
No, we will put the link in the description, of course. And
yeah,
excellent.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.